Right, so I'm going to talk you through part of this activity. So this is exercise 3, which is found on page 211 of the textbook. But obviously, you would need to go through show my homework, and it takes you into a direct link, or actually it shows you on a screencast how to get there. So the activity that you need to do is this one here. So we can see it here, and what I'm going to show you is I'm just going to go through, and let's choose just this little sentence here. Mais on marque un deuxième but et on gagne le match. So I'm going to just jot that down onto my board here. So mais on marque un deuxième but et on gagne le match. Et on gagne le match. So, to show you that I've got that on my board here, and obviously as we go through this, the first thing we need to think about is whereabouts the verbs are. Now, like I've explained to you, in order to find the verbs, we need to try and find the pronouns or the nouns. In this case, the two pronouns that are in here are both the same. So these are both on, which means we or one. So there are no names in here, so there are no nouns. It's just on. So the two verbs that we've got are these ones that are here. On gagne et on marque. So what I do, as I've explained to you before, is I'm going to take my dictionary here, and I'm going to try to look up the first word. So this is marque. Let's have a look. Let's see what we find. So marque. And when I try to look it up, now the first thing I need to note is that when I look for this word, let me just make that a little bit clearer. It's a little bit clearer there. First problem with this potential problem, is that if you look here closely, it says marque. So it's got the word there, but the problem is that we need to make sure that we're using the right type of word. And if we look here, if it's got la in front of it, it means to say that it's a noun, because it means the. And any word that can be followed by the is a noun. And look, in the dictionary here, it actually tells us that this is a noun, like a brand, marque, so, or a make. So we're not going to use that one. We need to carry on going until we find the verb itself. And here we've got marquer, which is to write down, to score, to be significant. Now if I just take that away again, just refocus this. So I've got on marque. We know that this might be write down, or it might be score. Now if I was to tell you that this word here, but, is a goal, all of a sudden it makes a little bit more sense that marque is going to be to score. Now, when I was looking in the dictionary there, if I open this up again, marque. When I look this up, what you'll notice is that it had a number 1 next to it. And you'll remember that number 1 needs to say that it is a regular verb. Now, of course, I can check if I want to, so I can go into the centre of the dictionary, I can find my verb number 1, which is a model regular ER verb, and I can look down here for the perfect tense, so I can see how it's been formed, so I can see that I've taken my infinitive, and to get this last word here, which in this case being spoken, is that I take off the ER and I add an E with an accent. After having put avoir in the present tense, so on a, and again, I can't remember that, it's not a problem at all. All we need to do is check. We look up avoir. We look up avoir in the present tense, and you can just about see, I'm going to refocus it, but you can just about see there that it says on a. Thus, then we take our verb in the infinitive form, we take off the ER, we add an E with an accent, and then I've got mais on a marqué un deuxième but. So then all of a sudden I've got the correct answer. Now, as it goes, this word here, gagne, which means either to earn or to win, and in a sense, because it's le match, it means to win. This one is also, if I look it up, oops, going the wrong way. If I look up the word gagne here, I'm also going to see that this word as well is a verb number 1. So I'm just going to apply exactly the same rule, take it out, gagne, with an ER, take off the ER, add an E with an accent, and then I've got the sentence that I need. So that was the first sentence that I wanted to show you. Now let me try to look for something a little bit more tricky. They were both regular verbs. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to take this last one here. Je lis un peu, puis je dors. I'm just going to do this very first one. So je lis un peu. Let me write that down onto my board. So je lis un peu. So when I go into this, je lis, I need to try to discover what this means. So let's have a look. I'm just going to look this word up to see what I find. Li, 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 li. What it tells me here is it doesn't give me an answer. It's not quite so simple, this one. So if I go in, and it says li, si, lire. So this is the verb that I need to look up, and it's not too far away. Just go up here, and you'll see that it says lire, verb 51. Lire le texte, to read the text. Elle sait lire en français, she can read French, etc., etc. But I'm going to look up verb number 51. Before I do that, I'm going to check, and I should have told you this last. I'm going to check that it's not an être verb. There's no e in a small circle, so it's not an être verb in the past tense. So I look up verb 51. And when I go to verb 51 in the dictionary, this is an irregular verb because of course it's not 1, 2, or 3. And when I get to lire, you can see here that it's got 1, 2, 3, 4. As I've explained to you before, if you look up here, number 2 always represents the past participle, just a little bit up here. Go back into my verb, lire, so it's lu. That's my word that I need. So instead of saying je lis un peu, I need to get rid of this and replace it with the word lu. Just focus that a little bit. And on top of that, of course, this word needs to change to avoir, the part of avoir in the present tense. So I take this out, and of course I have is j'ai. So then all of a sudden I've got j'ai lu un peu. This means I read a bit. And the final thing that I'm going to say is as you're going through this text, it's always a good idea that if you look up other words, whether it's because you're just interested to find out what these words mean, or whether it's because you think it might help with the meaning. Like, for example, I explained to you that the word but earlier on was a goal. And strangely enough, if this word here, you do pronounce the T, even though you don't normally pronounce the last letter, but. If you were to look through and you thought, well, I don't know what un peu means, you probably, hopefully do, but if you don't, if you needed to look that up and you found out that it meant a little bit, then remember what I said, noting things down. Note things down equals a star grade. Okay? Or if you're in year 9, equals a 9. Simple as that. Okay? So that's what I need you to do for your homework. So make sure you bring it in, make sure you ask any questions before the deadline.